first GenXers.
Poetic beats, poetic beats, poetic beats, poetic beats.
Hello. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Mic check 1 3 1 3. Um, testes.
One, two,
Anyway,
1 2. Damn it, man. Jesus.
sorry, man. You don't watch enough Beavis and Butthead. Damn it. It's 1 3 1 3. Damn it. Testes. 1 2 3. Anyway,
Remember,
my name
we are
is.
professionals.
Yeah, we're
Professional,
supposed to be professional.
professional madmen. That is.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? This is the Cheap Pop Podcast. I am your host, Double K Double, otherwise known as Dark Lord 100. Below me is the man with the red solo cup, the Saint, and next to me is
He's going to be playing some beer pong later.
No,
the.
I'm actually celebrating the retaining of the WWE Championship. Celebrating for my boys, the Street Profits. So I'm drinking from
Oh, you
that
mean the tag team
red cup.
championships?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great match, and we'll get to that when we get to whatchamacallit, when we get to the wrestling portion of the show, because that was an amazing match. That capped off a WrestleMania week, a WrestleMania 2 weeks. That's what you got to realize WrestleMania has become now. It's the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania,
Yep.
the SmackDown before WrestleMania, the 2 nights of WrestleMania, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and all the NXT events that happen in between. So, like, yeah, it's 2 weeks of solid wrestling fun. Like, let's do it. We'll get to that after the break. Right now, guys, I was scrolling real quick before I kick it off to Dave, and we jump into Pop Culture Corner. I was scrolling and found this article where they talk about the one Mr. Tom Hanks, who I actually was unaware that I guess he's coming back as Woody in Toy Story 5.
This is correct.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm definitely like, if Tom Hanks is involved, like, I might just go see it. Like, I've always loved him in that role of Woody, and I would love to see him come back and do it again. I'm wondering if they're going to get Tim Allen, or are they staying away from him? Are they going to get Tim Allen to come back as Buzz? Is they bringing back Buzz?
From what I'm understanding, this is supposed to be a reunion of sorts, because Woody and Bo Peep, they had their own adventures after Toy Story 4. So
Right.
as
A
far
bunch
as
of straight to
I
DVD
know,
movies.
yeah, well, as far as I know, that this is what's happened in between 4 and 4, or what's happened between 4 and 5, and whatever's taken place, whatever's happened between those years. And from
Okay.
what I'm understanding, it's supposed to be maybe 3 or 4 years. So I think it may
After the
be
end of
in real
4.
time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm here for it. Like, give me Woody, give me Bo Peep, give me Buzz Lightyear, give me Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head. Those were two of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Uh, you
And
know,
I'm trying to figure out who is supposed to be the new the new character. And I'm trying to
oh,
remember it was a real popular another
80s or 90s
popular
or
actor. Well, no, I'm talking about like like Keanu Reeves was in the last one,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I do believe that just trying to remember who it was, but it's somebody current, like really
Ernie
like
Hudson.
no, I don't think so.
Well, it says
I
he's
think
in it.
no,
Uh,
yeah, he is in
yeah,
it.
Ernie
That's
Hudson.
right, Ernie
He's taking
Hudson.
over Combat Carl.
That's right.
Yeah. For the late Carl, he was voiced by the late Carl Weathers.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Toy Story 5 looks like it's got an all-star cast and looks like it's going to be real fun. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how
Yeah.
you guys feel. I don't know if I'll
Tim,
be big kid sitting in the theater, but I'll probably see it when it comes to streaming.
uh,
Well, oh, go
looking
ahead.
at an article, Tim Allen is back as Buzz.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah.
I know he was dealing with some allegations at a certain point, so I didn't know whether or not Disney would touch him with a 10-foot pole, so to speak.
Well, I mean, if you can be a convicted cocaine distributor and still have lucrative franchise, multiple lucrative franchises with Disney, I think he's going to be okay.
Hey man, he was supplying the B lot. All right.
Well, that
As
was
far as
before,
Disney was concerned, he got
but
them extra hours.
yeah, but yeah, I think that was before his career though.
Yeah.
Is while
he
he was
did
still
time.
doing stand up, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still,
Who is this? Like, who is this unnamed man? Was it Alan?
what do you mean?
I literally don't know which comedian you're talking about. That
No,
was a coke dealer.
Tim Allen.
Yeah,
Oh, Tim Allen?
Well, no. I don't know who it was, but from what I understand, Tim Allen was kind of on the
He's moving some weight.
He was
no,
moving.
he was I think he was more of an informant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the thing. He got
So
caught.
is
He
he.
got bu-
He
he
was
got
he
busted
was
with a couple. He got busted with a couple keys, and he basically ratted out
Rolled over.
Yeah.
multiple stand-up comedians. who were
snitching
big
to a
at the
time.
Yep,
Wow. Wow.
including
If that's your
oh,
real name,
God.
Mr. Allen.
oh including a really big comedian, and I'm blanking on his name.
George Carlin? Wouldn't
No,
doubt
not
me.
Carlin. No, no, Carlin was smart enough to stay away from him. Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
let me say this, man. I tell you, like, yeah. Just on a side note for a quick laugh before we jump into pop culture corner, just saw a meme talking about the Flash doing interviews about Reverse Flash, and yeah, it's hilarious. You should go find it on YouTube or TikTok, wherever. But it's a black dude, and he's just straight hilarious. The type of shit he says. He's like, that nigga went back and killed my best friend. He won't let me have anything. Like, like I tried to love a woman. He said nope. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, damn, dude, when you really think and you put some thought into what the Reverse Flash did to Barry Allen,
Yep.
like the levels of petty that man went to are unbeknownst to
Yeah.
the other villains in DC and even in Marvel. Like this man had a hatred for Barry Allen that burned through his soul. And yeah. He brought up the other. He's like, dude went back and killed my mama and blamed my daddy for it. And it was like, what? Yeah, he did that. I'm like, yep. That's pretty much the whole premise of the TV show. At least the first couple of seasons. But hey, all I can say is that's Reverse Flash. Y'all don't believe me? Go read some DC comic books. Go read some Flash comic books, specifically
Yep.
the ones involving Reverse Flash, and see all the random ass shit, petty ass shit he did to Barry Allen just cause, just
Yep.
cause he could. So anyway, let's jump on over.
It was
Dave.
just all kinds of fuckery. That's all.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. All right, Dave, you can take us into our first segment, and that is Pop Culture Corner.
Okay. So let's continue on with a little bit of levity, which is Marvel just announced that this summer, after a 30-year hiatus, every, well, every boy's favorite summer special is returning. Marvel's iconic swimsuit special is coming back after 30 years. Hopefully without the Punisher and the banana hammock. That was
Hey, if you want to appeal to a wide audience, you got to give the ladies what they want too.
the
You
ladies
can't.
want to see Frank in a bikini in a banana hammock with his hairy ass chest. Yeah.
I know some ladies that wouldn't mind seeing Sebastian Stan in a banana hammock.
Well,
Bucky,
kind of different.
No, no.
No, I'm not
But-
saying there's anybody on this panel that would want to see that. Okay, I'm saying there are some ladies out there that would want to see that.
No, I'm
I
just thinking
personally
like
would not want
like
to see Jason
a
Momoa
woman. No, just
in a
no,
banana hammock,
just the
but I know.
thought. No, just the thought of that alone. Like someone, I guarantee you, guys would fantasize more about women in comics than probably dudes do. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So
I don't
if
know.
it the 0.002% of women that are lusting over men in comics, well, damn.
yeah. I mean now
Hey,
There may be
hey,
some. There may be some.
hey, I'm saying they're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there. I'm just saying.
but what I'm looking forward to
I
with
found
this
love, so
are
they got to be out there. No, go on, Dave.
what I'm looking forward to are the fake ads that they run in those specials. I mean, because
Yeah.
they have some really great ones. Like the most memorable one was for the for a vibranium bladed disposable razor. Um, it was for the transition for Thor from bearded back to clean shaven back in the 90s.
He
Where,
needed
you know, the
vibranium,
beard,
huh?
yeah, the beard of Odin is legendary, but what about his son's beard? So they do
Somebody
a
sits
lot
back
of-
and thinks this up, and that's just
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah,
Somebody's
they
job is to
definitely-
sit back and
they
think shit
definitely
like
bring
that up.
out they definitely bring out the comedy chops. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes in there.
All right.
Okay. All right. And for this summer, the big movie fight in July between Superman and Fantastic Four will be going on because the lawsuit from the estate of Superman co-creator Joe Shuster, which was trying to prevent worldwide distribution, especially in Europe,
Okay.
got tossed out of court, saying that the case doesn't belong in a federal court. So
That's
Warner
interesting.
Brothers is free for full worldwide distribution.
Would love to know the reason why they were fighting that the world distribution.
It's, I mean, who knows? At this point, it's just all the estates of Schuster and Siegel in there. The
So yeah.
it's, but yeah, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
It
in
is what
there.
it is.
Uh,
All right.
yeah.
So next up,
Okay. All right. Next up, now we're going to get a little bit serious. Okay, because we just had the first trailer. 2025 is turning into the year of the Predator
Okay.
because we not only have um, the animated anthology Predator Killer of Killers,
Okay.
where that's going to be on Netflix later this year, where you will finally see the Predator taking on a samurai. Everyone
Go
has
on.
been wanting that.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
I have to say this. I never saw this when I watched Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in like the late
Oh
80s.
no, no,
I
no,
never
no.
saw, and I don't mean like this movie in particularly. I'm talking about the phenomenon and
Hmm.
craze that the Predator became. He was the
Yep.
bad guy. Like he was the bad guy. And he became so damn popular that it spawned off comic books and cartoons and animated
Hmm.
movies and extra live movies and Alien versus Predator and
Right.
In
and
the
Alien versus
games.
Well,
and
that
the
was
games and like this simple character from this Arnold Schwarzenegger movie took on a whole life of its own, and he was the fucking bad guy. He was the alien invader coming to invade Earth. He was
yep.
coming to kill us all.
Well,
And but he
most of
became
that is
yeah.
most of that came the growth in the pop culture phenomenon was basically because of the Dark Horse comics. Um,
They
that
actually gave
Dark
him
Horse
a
they had
storyline.
Dark
Yeah,
Horse had Predator, they had Aliens, they had Terminator, they had all these
RoboCop.
yeah.
RoboCop. Yeah, so that's why you got Terminator versus RoboCop
And see,
in the
and
comics.
and yeah, and see that's what I'm looking at. Is I'm just like, okay, so like I said, I don't. Somebody had a bright idea, and thank God they did because, like I said, I've enjoyed most of the
Oh
Predator
yeah.
movies. I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff that they've created, the IPs that they've created, or things that they've created from that IP. But it just still blows my mind because I don't think there is a single person who sat in the theaters and watched the original Predator that could have told
Hmm.
you that
No,
30 some odd years later this is what we'd be seeing.
it was same with Alien, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but but yes,
But anyway, sorry.
Killer. But yeah, Killer of Killers is the trailer has um, see Predator versus Samurai,
Mm.
Predator versus Vikings, and Predator also versus a World War II fighter pilot,
What was the name of
where
that show? Go ahead.
where uh, a World War II fighter pilot in the Pacific kind of crashes into a Predator ship,
Mm.
and they both crash land and do a hunt on Pacific Island. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that's on.
No.
But that's on Netflix. That's animated. The Predator Badlands
Mm.
is going to be out in November. It is live action. It is Dan Trachtenberg's next film, the guy who gave us Prey.
Mm.
Um, and apparently, one of the things is you're seeing a lot of varitypes in variances in the predator phenotype. In other
Mm.
words, what they look like. It's kind of like how there was this stock thought of how all Vulcans on Star Trek look, and then Voyager comes along with Tuvok.
Uh,
It's like, oh, okay. So this one we're seeing the and this one, the new Predator has a actual name that he's called. I think Deck. He's basically kind of like a teenager,
okay.
um, but um, he's kind of got a little bit more melanin going on in
Okay.
there. Um, we see a Predator with gray dreads in there,
Okay.
and of course, um, we see on the trophy wall of a Predator vessel, we see a lot of other um, science fiction trophies, shall we say,
Okay.
including one of the aliens from ID4 from Independence Day.
Independence Day. Okay. Like I said, it sounds extremely interesting.
Yeah.
When you were describing it though, what it made me think of, and I had to look up real quick, was I don't know if you guys have ever seen. There's a show, or if you guys ever watched this show, but there was this show called Deadliest Warrior,
Oh yeah.
where they basically use the computer program to pit
Yeah.
specific types of people, and I love the way that they gathered the information, and they made a whole spectacle of it.
Yeah.
But that's
So
what it kind
they,
of reminded me of when you were like, yeah, a predator versus a samurai versus da 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 versus da da. And I'm like, yeah,
there were two games.
really on Deadliest again,
Yeah, Deadliest
made
Warrior.
on Deadliest
I
Warrior. I
have,
did not know that.
yeah, I have both of them. Xbox 360,
Mm,
and then I have one on the PS3. They did the Warrior, Samurai,
yeah.
Punjut, um, um, what was the like the Gladiator, Ninja,
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I loved it when they
Zombie
did
Warrior.
1920s gangster versus da 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 versus ninja. Like the stuff
Yeah.
that they would come up with would blow my mind. And I know I'm sidetracking for a bit. We'll get back to
No, no,
back
no,
to
it's all good.
subject, but yeah, like that show always like I own both seasons. Well, own
Yeah.
loosely said both seasons of it in my collection of TV uh, shows, and I love going back and rewatching it because the way that they laid everything out, I just didn't always agree with the end result of the battle.
Hmm.
There were plenty of times where I was just like, nah, dude, like, yeah, nah,
Vampires and Zombies.
yeah, like some of the shit was just like, nah, dude, like, I don't know what's going on with it, but
But
it was
somebody was
definitely
like,
enough.
"Well, you could have used this weapon to kill this guy in that way." And I do believe that, I don't think the end result would be the same. Well, man, hey, look, I don't disagree with you, and I'm the fucking expert. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of shit that was, man.
But
Yeah.
that show was off the hook like that though. That show was off the hook like that. And
Hmm.
so go on, Dave. Like, but I just
Okay.
wanted to bring that up because Deadliest Warrior was. If you guys got a chance to check it out, buy it on Amazon. Check it out. It's amazing.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
the final bits of sprinkles on Predator Badlands
Mm,
is um, well, first of all, Ellie Fanning is going to be in it, and she's teaming up with the Predator because this time the planet's hunting them. This is on an alien world that is really extremely deadly,
mm,
um, and very hostile to other forms of life. And the trailer closes out
uh,
with the Predator facing down a kaiju. Now, not like Godzilla-sized kaiju, but
yeah.
a decent-sized monster, big
Monster.
monster.
Okay, because I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, you killing me here with kaiju.
Monster Hunter Unite.
Yep.
you know. All right.
Yep.
So speaking of that Pacific Rim,
Yeah.
great movie.
All right.
Two was but the original awesome. Um,
Yeah. And then the last two, we have a trailer for season 2 of Wednesday for Netflix. And that'll be coming out in two parts. Part one is August 6th, part two is September 3rd.
okay.
So it looks like they're splitting the season in half
Okay.
and doing the dump. But yeah, and everyone's still got it. If you like the season one,
Loved
it's
it.
definitely more of that in season two.
Me and my daughter watched it. Me and my daughter watched it we watched it week to week. Like
Yeah.
I was trying to expose my daughter a while back. I've talked about this on the show before to what it's like to have to wait week to week to see what
Yeah.
happens on the TV shows, not being able to just binge watch shit
Right.
all at one time. And yeah, so we watched stuff and we watched the first season. So definitely we'll be tuning in for that second season
Yeah.
as well.
Jenna Ortega is just absolutely back, just killing it, even in the trailer. Um, we have Luis Guzman is amping up the John Aston, Raul Julia vibes
Nice.
with Morticia, well, Gomez and Morticia, where he's much more there's much more PDAs in this
Yes.
one than there was in the first season,
Awesome.
and Pugsley got the glow up in there. He is tall. He's taller than Wednesday now,
Okay.
and he's got a little bit of magic going on.
Okay.
So
Pugsley's
yeah,
gonna start getting his powers. Nice. Or
Pugsley
not
is
powers, but starting
he's
to
coming
learn.
into his
Yeah.
own. Yeah.
I want
So
to say
and
okay.
Catherine Zeta-Jones back as Morticia, of course.
Of course.
Um,
Her and
so it,
Angelica Houston look like twins when they're dressed.
oh, I know.
You know,
Yeah,
when she's all dressed up. I'm just like, wow.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's on new villain. Although it looks like we're gonna have the bad guy or the boyfriend from the first season makes
Uh-huh.
a few cameos in there,
Okay.
and of course Enid's back as Wednesday's roommate.
Yay!
And yes, there there are creepy dolls involved also.
Hope the
Where
Annabelle doll makes an appearance. Uh,
oh, it's like Wednesday wakes up and she's sitting at like a tea party with all these dolls, and they turn their heads to look at her, and then there's a cutaway, and Wednesday, next thing you see Wednesday standing up,
uh,
and she's got a pair of scissors and said, "Let's play, dolls."
wow. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Very
Yes.
interesting. All right. So I did
Uh,
have one
oh,
subject. I'll go ahead. You
last
got one more?
last thing for me, and then I'll be quiet.
No, no, no.
Okay. Um, the Hollywood is going to be doing, well, don't call it a reboot. Let's call it a reanimation, because the most successful H.P. Lovecraft story adaptation is coming back from the dead. Herbert West Reanimator is getting a reboot
Okay.
from
I
the
don't
guys who
remember that.
did
So.
Haunting in Connecticut. Well, the original Reanimator movie
Mm,
is really what launched Jeffrey Combs' career,
okay.
and it's basically Lovecraft's take on Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein. Okay.
May I
Yeah, of
interject,
course, of
please?
course.
Yeah, sure.
All right. For those guys, well, because Dave, you obviously, I think you know about it. All right, guys. So for the ones that are out there knowing, okay, look, there were three movies. Okay, there were three movies with the Reanimator. First one was the best one. Two was okay. Three, you can put that shit on fire, as far as I'm concerned. But the first one was really good. Um, it is very close to a modern interpretation of that time during the
Mary
80s,
Shelley.
if you will,
Okay.
um, of that movie. So, and yes, that is the thing that launched Jeffrey Combs off, that made me hate him for so many years, because he played villains that I really did despise.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
I mean,
yeah,
he's got like something like 12 or 9 characters in
yeah,
Star Trek alone that he plays.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and almost all of them have been absolute assholes, ranging from Brunt FCA to Wayoon, the Vorta, to the Andorian on Enterprise.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Enterprise guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, and don't forget that Doctor Strange knockoff, Doctor Mordred.
Oh yeah,
That shit. He was a bigger asshole in that movie, and
yeah,
even Doctor Strange. That was some.
yeah,
Doctor Strange was
and
an ass, but
yeah. But
no.
also the FBI cult investigator from The Frighteners.
Okay.
Yeah,
That little
Okay.
bit,
yeah.
yeah,
He's just been playing. He's just
You've been,
played
been
an
playing
asshole for
yeah.
most of
years.
his
And he
career.
does it, and he does it perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I have one last subject I want to lobby at you guys. Now, this is not from a political standpoint at all. So please remove any political feelings we may have about this man from your things, positive or negative. Okay.
Okay.
Politically divisive commentator Ben Shapiro made a comment recently dogging James Gunn's Superman because
Oh yeah.
he believes that Superman is supposed to be a representation of America. Now, as he's given this little speech, I'm going to stop there. As he's given his little speech, I'm seriously beginning to believe this man is mistaking Superman for Captain America. But he continues to say that this is why he won't go see the movie, etc. And I would love it. And Saint, kick us off because you're the huge DC fan in the house.
Okay.
Like,
Well. Okay. I am the huge DC fan, if you will, and Superman is probably in my top five. Okay. Um. As far back as I've known, Superman championed for whatever was right, especially during those eras. Like when he was first created back in the 19 like in back in 1930
Yeah.
38. Okay. He was going around beating up regular crooks. He was taking on wife beaters. He was taking
Landlords.
on yeah, he did take on the Ku Klux Klan. That was one of the
Klan,
biggest things that
exploited
that was
landlords. Yeah.
yeah, like it the depends on the era, but as far as I'm concerned, in the last, I'll say maybe the last 40 years, Superman has been more on a worldwide level than so much as an American. I mean, he does continue to say, truth, justice, in the American way. And I mean, I think because not to like be politically in it, but I mean, it's like it's on a kind of democracy type of
I
thing that he's fighting for. So I mean,
before Dave chimes in, I'll jump in and say this. This is kind of how
yeah,
I felt about it from day one. Is that Superman embodied this spirit of what we want America to be:
Hmm.
doing the right thing, making the right choice, being that good person that stands up for others, etc.
Yeah.
Captain America is supposed to be more the physical embodiment of what America is, but Superman was always just the idea of what America. And here's what I talk about because people bring this up. Superman's an illegal immigrant that was accepted into American culture and adapted and became a part of society. He is the American story. In that way, yeah. But the way that he's talking about, Dave, finish us off on this, and then we'll go to
Okay.
break so that we can
Yeah.
get back and talk about this WrestleMania, this second night of
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
And it's um, and I saw this is a tweet from writer Tom Taylor, who's been a longtime Superman scribe in there, and on the subject, in that, and he gets into what Christopher Reeve said is the most important thing about Superman. That Superman is first and foremost, Superman is a friend to everyone. That is the core of what Superman is. He is everybody's friend. Now, you may be doing wrong and he may have to intervene to stop you, but he's still your friend, even when you are trying to rob the bank. He's trying to get you to make better life choices. He's trying to help you get your life back on track.
Yeah.
Okay, and Tom Taylor tweeted that because everyone wants, there's a certain subset that wants Superman to be their male power fantasy. It's like, yeah, if I had Superman powers, I'd be doing this and this and this. And Tom Taylor just said, no, Superman does not intimidate. That's why his costume looks the way that it does. So that you can't take him as seriously as Batman. so that you can lower your guard around on him.
Yeah.
He's not going to hurt you unless you do something to make him hurt you. And that's
I'm sorry.
it's such a key difference where you keep seeing everyone trying to turn Superman. Well, this worked for Batman, led to massive financial success in the movies. So let's do it with Superman. No, you can't do it the same way.
Yeah.
They're completely different. And that's why James Gunn's Superman looks and feels the way that it does.
Because go on, Steve. You're going, Saint. You had something.
Oh, I was just going, and then you have Homelander. That's it.
And drop it like that, huh? Drop it like that.
You got Homelander. You got the Plutonian. You got Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Homelander is kind of psychotic, so you know.
Well, I'm going to say this. On that note, the only pushback I'll give you is Omni-Man is pretty damn psychotic himself. Like the man beat the just cuz. Like, just cuz. I just saw a video on Instagram just the other day with the scene when Omni-Man snaps and he beats up the dude that's basically the equivalent of the Flash on Invincible. And dude's like sitting there, and first he's punching him in the stomach, and then he's just squeezing his head. And all of a sudden, by the end, dude's just throwing his damn wrist at him. Just, and I think there's one last hit before his head explodes. And I'm just Omni-Man was on some petty shit. He was going after everybody. So, So we'll close on that laugh and say this. Everybody has a different interpretation of what Superman is to them. And so I think we, again,
but not everyone's interpretation is the right one.
Very true.
That's why you need the Cheap Pop podcast to tell you what the right interpretation is.
I guess that's one way to look at it. And on that note, we'll go to break, y'all. We'll see you afterwards where we'll be talking about some big sweaty men wearing tights, feeling on each other in a ring. For those of you who don't know, WrestleMania took place last weekend. We didn't get a chance to talk about night 2, so we'll be doing it today. You're watching or listening to the Cheap Pop podcast, and we'll see y'all after the break. Peace.
This is now versus then. This is now versus then. Get on your mark, let's go. This is now versus then. Burning up your radio, still turning up the heat with Poetic on the flow. Got you moving to the beats with the Saint as your host. Shout out the collective, hold it down, we gon' clown, that's the lesson. Where Generation X meets Generation Next, with them bangers from the east to the south to the west. Yeah, this how we do it in Sacktown. Slide to the studio, yup, it goes down. These beats gon' pound, waking the game up, told you it goes down. And this is only the intro. Turn the mics on, shout out to my kinfolk. Where you at, y'all? Let's get this started. Turn down for what? We about to start the party. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. This is now versus then. 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 You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I've been real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that bama.
definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah, come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
All right, and we're back, y'all. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go on ahead and take that left down Jabroni Boulevard and that right on SmackDown Drive and get all over to that SmackDown. Thumbs up when it's good, boys. Thank you. All right, and we're back. All right, what? What he does? He goes. So I'll wait for his thumbs up. Let me know he's good. You know, we got him trapped in that little room off to the side, man. He only gets to come out to do that intro, man. Don't worry, we respected all labor laws.
You have no chill.
Oh man, oh man. All right, guys. So we just bought us a little bit more time on the Andor subject. We'll probably talk that next week.
Yeah.
These guys can get in, or at least Dave can get in the other 2 episodes. But we will talk more about that. Right now, we're gonna get to WrestleMania. No, WrestleMania. Night 2 happened last week. We did not get a chance to talk about it as far as the results because it happened after our show broadcasted. But it was a night of fun, a night of real fun. First and foremost, let me say congratulations to Triple H. This is one of the first WrestleManias that I've seen ever in which every single championship changed hands except for one. All the championships changed hands except for Tiffany Stratton. So let's start with that Io. Oh, actually, and Io Sky. I forgot Io Sky kept her belt, huh?
Yep.
So both of the women's champs stayed the same.
She defended in the triple threat.
Yep, against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. And them girls definitely gave us something to smile about because that match was amazing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Your thoughts, gentlemen, on the, what I would consider a definite candidate for match of the night.
Oh, that was definitely the business. Io Sky was just really phenomenal in that match, and she really held out on her own. And even though there were a little more exchanges between Bianca and Rhea Ripley, you know, Io Sky needed to have that shine, and that's how she got it.
And she did what she needed to do from a kayfabe perspective, where she got in her chops and everything early on, but she basically kind of just let Rhea and Bianca just
tear
beat
each
the
other
crap
apart.
out of each other, and then at the end, she took advantage. She does Bianca and Rhea are both down on the mat. Bianca is about to pin Rhea, and then Io delivers an over the moonsault to both of them, and pins Bianca for retaining.
Yep, and that was just wow. Like I said, my girl
Very
did some
well.
things there.
Very well done. Yeah.
Saint, your thoughts on that match?
That's the only thing I'm saying right there. There really wasn't. There really wasn't much I could say. Is just like, to me, it was a happy-go-lucky match.
Yeah.
It was a happy-go-lucky match.
I liked it. I liked the feel of it in the sense that it now feels post-match. I always talk about how the match feels when it was being built up, and then how it feels to me post-match. Pre-match, it felt to me like they were building to Bianca Belair winning. That was not what they built to. They built to Io Sky becoming this powerhouse again. The way, if anybody remembers, I don't know if you two remember watching her in NXT, but when she was in NXT, she was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why Rhea Ripley never beat her, even dating back to NXT.
Yep. And it also builds into the narrative that they've been building up, where everyone was just focusing on Rhea and Bianca, and Io was just kind of like an afterthought, even in the promos.
Yeah.
And she continually showed them, like, look, I am not going to be ignored here.
Yeah. And now that was I like that story that story being told and that story being the end result is that EO
Yeah.
was like I'm undeniable to take a quote from Cody Rhodes. So all right. So then we moved on to Priest and Drew McIntyre beating the holy living out of each other for about a good 5 minutes. What was the match
Yeah.
time?
The what was it?
13 minutes. They beat
Yeah.
the living snot out of each other for 13 minutes and closed with McIntyre Claymore kicking Priest's head off through a steel chair to get the
And a
win.
selfie. He
Yeah.
took a
Yeah. He
selfie.
took a selfie. Yeah, actually, yeah. His brother handed him the cell phone camera while Drew and Priest were in on the floor
Uh,
and fighting, and Priest was down, and Drew McIntyre took the time. This is the level of pettiness that we all aspire to. He took the time to do a flash selfie with
yeah.
Priest on there. It's like,
Oh man, that's
and
that's
posted it that night.
Drew McIntyre is a wrestler that understands how to use social media to his advantage, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yep.
Drew is just a beast for that. After that, we saw what to me, and I'll be honest with you, was the match of the night. The fatal four-way between Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Give it to Saint. He made the call that Dom was going to win the title. It was a good call. I saw them building to that and didn't want to see that, but it's what we got now. We got Dom, the Intercontinental Champion, but I thought it was done in a very, very good way. I thought it progressed, definitely progressed Dom and Finn's storyline. I think their battle can be over the Intercontinental title as opposed to them both trying to get it. And
It was his time, man.
yeah.
It was his time.
it also we'll get to what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw that showed like there was a reason why Braun moved on.
Yeah,
There was a
but
reason why Braun moved on.
but let's also talk about was women's tag team, was that later in the match,
Yeah,
or
that
was
was later. That was later in the night. We
right?
got a couple of matches before we get to them.
Right.
But yeah, so we saw that happen there with Braun Breaker dropping the belt, Dom Mysterio your new champ, Penta looked good, just like Rey Fenix did the night before. Both of them getting WrestleMania matches in the first weekend, joining WWE, or in the first like month or two joining WWE. Amazing. After that, we had what a lot of people have mixed feelings about, and that was an appearance by the one and only Joe Hendry.
Yep.
Say
He
his name
was-
and he appears. And the current TNA World Champion is it's the first time that I can remember ever a TNA World Heavyweight Champion appearing on the WrestleMania card and actually wearing his belt and being announced as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion and coming down to the ring and actually wrestling a match. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Against Randy Orton.
yeah, yeah.
I kind of felt that was a rubber match.
Well, rubber ain't right. Like, yeah, if you want to say rubber in the sense that Joe Hendry was Gumby by the time the match was over, yeah. Like, if you want to say that kind of rubber, but like, yeah, no. I definitely liked it. Like, Randy Orton, like, the fact that there wasn't much offense from Joe Hendry, a lot of people are calling this a burial. I don't call it a burial. Like, I'm sorry. I love TNA, and I watched TNA since like 2003, 2004. Nothing TNA has done or will ever have done is as big as WrestleMania.
Mhm.
So that little 5 minute match that everybody calls a burial probably exposed more people to the TNA brand than have been exposed in the past 5 years.
Well, then, but you got to think about it too. You got to think about it too. SummerSlam. I mean, not SummerSlam, but
Royal Rumble.
the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he showed up at the Royal
Jordan
Rumble too.
Grace.
Yeah. And
Came
Joe
in
Henry,
through-
Joe Henry was in this year's Men's Rumble too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like, hey, TNA is TNA is really, still doing their thing. I mean, right now, I think the Hardy Boys are still
Oh yeah, they're still over
They're
there.
still the champions. Yeah.
This 5-year deal that was signed between WWE and TNA is going to benefit everybody because it's going to get more. Like I said, it's going to get more eyes on TNA than have been on TNA in the past about decade. Since the days of Booker T and Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe and all of them being with TNA, like AJ Styles, like when they were coming up in TNA, that's when TNA was hot. It was challenging WWE. Still say the worst mistake they ever made was letting Hogan and Bischoff come have any creative control, and they got rid of that 6-sided ring for a 4-sided ring, and they took everything that was special away from TNA. Anyway, that's for another documentary. So we'll continue to move on. Good job, Joe Henry. Came out great.
Yep.
Randy Orton even mocked his thing where he spins around and the camera zooms in on him, and right after he hit him with an RKO. Good job, Randy. And yeah, I never bought Randy picking him back up and lifting his head. I was like, Randy's gonna hit him with another RKO. Why did he even get up? Like, why? Like, it's the Viper, man. Vipers do what Vipers do. They strike. He's not. Stop. Anyway,
He's like, good match.
You know. After that, we got what a lot of people were disappointed in just because it was Logan Paul. But what was, at the end of the day, a really good match between AJ Styles and Logan Paul. And they used a little bit of this match to further the feud between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. As Karrion Kross came out and stopped Logan Paul's manager from giving him brass knuckles, only to give him to AJ Styles, have AJ throw him into the crowd and hit Karrion Kross, and then go on to lose the match.
Yeah. You know, again, my feelings are, I don't like Logan Paul as a person.
Yeah.
I like Logan Paul as a heel. I don't like him as a person, and that's the big thing. You know, when you have AJ Styles, which was, let's face it, one of the bigger gets for WWE, and to have him job out to,
I'm like, was it a job though? Because it does no harm to AJ's career. AJ is solidified. AJ is a Hall of Famer no matter what happens from this point. Actually, from about 5 years ago to the end of his career. So is it really a job, and is it really a bad thing to have him lose to Logan Paul if you're trying to elevate Logan Paul? Like, because that's the thing about it.
Right. And I see what you're saying is that I just don't see, you know, it's my own feelings in there, in that, you know, Logan Paul just.
And trust me, it was the same way for me at the very beginning, and it's taken a while. But as far as a human being, I don't know Logan Paul personally, but for what I've seen of him on his YouTube channel, etc., he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Logan Paul as a wrestler, and I have to give credit where credit is due. He plays a good heel. He plays his role correctly, and in ring, the man is learning more and more every single match that he has, and you see him grow right before that finisher that he has now is amazing. Like, I don't know many guys that would trust a somebody that's only had as few matches as Logan Paul has to do something like that to them and trust that they're not going to break their neck or to move in some way. And so from my perspective, I get what people are saying, that you kind of don't like Logan Paul beyond that you're not supposed to like him because he's a heel. And because of that, it's hard to watch him succeed. And I went through that early on in his career. When they put him up in the match against Roman Reigns, oh my God. I just about blew up. But then I saw the match. And I was like, okay, this kid's becoming slowly but surely undeniable. And I hated every minute of it. But now, as much as I still don't like Logan Paul as a person, I can't take away from what I saw. And the fact that AJ was willing, from a behind the scenes perspective, the fact that AJ was willing to do the job to Logan at WrestleMania says loads about Logan and what his persona is backstage and what he's doing backstage. Saint, you got something to say, bro?
My only thing about Logan Paul, like I really don't get a kick out of him, nor his brother. But you gotta pay the respects that, you know, this man is really doing his thing. And from what I'm understanding, he's about to go full time. So
That's where it looks like we're heading. We
yeah,
expect to see someday, if he continues to grow at the pace that he's growing, as much as we would all hate to
I
see
can't
it,
get mad.
expect one day to see Logan Paul hold the World Heavyweight
Yeah,
Championship or the WWE Championship.
I can't get mad.
Yeah.
And my thing is that if him and John Cena get into a mix, oh,
It's
that's
going to
gonna
be a
be a
good match.
whole
I believe he's actually had a one-on-one match with Cena already. I don't know if that's on his roster fully, but I believe he has. But needless to say, yeah, like I get where you're coming from, Dave, because I was there like a
Yeah.
while ago. Like I couldn't wrap my head around liking him. But then I began to separate the man, kind of like what I did with Floyd Mayweather. I began to separate the man from the boxer. I began to separate Logan Paul, the character on TV, from Logan Paul, the human being. I don't know Logan Paul, the human being, but everything that he's shown me in real life has shown me he's a douche. So I will go with what like what Maya Angelou said. When people show you who they are, believe them. So that's who he showed me who he is. But as a wrestler in ring, I can't put down anything that the man's doing, including getting victories over AJ Styles, because I feel like he's earned it. From what I've seen, the way I've seen him grow, his fame got him in the door, but it's seeming like his work ethic is what keeps them bringing him back. That's the only thing I can say about that. But all right, so now we get to the women's tag team match that you brought up with our lovely Lyra Valkyria,
My Raven Queen.
yes.
Although,
sh-
why the hell did they have? Oh wait, did she have the bird wings for night 2 WrestleMania or on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, she has the bird wings every time when she comes out.
No,
most
I'm talking
times.
about the golden ones.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
think
that
that
was
was just
night
night
two.
two. Yeah, that was night two.
Yeah, because normally it's black wings for ravens.
Right.
But yeah, they had her come out like with golden arm wings, and I'm like, what the? No.
well, well,
I
you
don't know. I
know,
liked it, but I think
well,
she's
every
cute in anything.
well, you know, Dave, with every wrestler, and you know what though, that's the biggest thing, you know, um, the entrances weren't really like fucking spectacular this year, you know,
No.
like
The
they
CM
were
Punk one, the ones for the two
no the
main
CM
matches
Punk,
were pretty decent.
CM Punk, Tiffany Stratton, that was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I
Lara
like Seth
Victoria,
Rollins.
that was good. Yeah, Seth Rollins one was like that was straight demon to angel on some
Yeah.
demon to angel type shit. Like
Yeah.
you could look at that shit at Tekken 8. That kind of entrance. No cap. Like
Well, Lyra came back and had no partner because if you watch night 1 of WrestleMania, Bayley had been taken out.
Yeah.
So the tag champs hit the ring. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. Lyra hits the stage, and the crowd goes berserk as Becky Lynch's music hits,
Yep.
and the man goes charging down to the ring with Lyra Valkyria as her tag team partner.
Yep.
Only for the story to be completed in the same evening, and Becky and Lyra would win the tag team titles from Liv and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yep.
temporarily, Becky two
I-
belts.
Yep. No, Lyra 2 belts.
No, Lyra two belts.
Lyra
Yeah.
2 belts. Because she would have the tag team and the Intercontinental. And I like the fact that she's still holding on to that. I thought by now they would have had her drop it, but no, she's still our Intercontinental Queen, and I love every minute of it. So okay, but so then Stone Cold came out, gave the night 2 attendance, and the overall attendance was drunk
Yep.
as fuck. Ran
Almost-
into
Yeah.
a sidewall, and some diva fell over after he hit the wall,
Yeah.
claiming she was hurt.
Yeah.
Somebody looked around and saw dollar signs and decided, oh, I'm hurt.
My neck, and my back.
It definitely reminded me of that scene from Friday. I'm sorry if there was any legit injury, but I just don't buy that there
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. Like, look, woman, like, there's a whole barricade in front of you that Stone Cold hit.
Yeah.
Like,
and
if
he wasn't
anything,
really-
maybe the
yeah.
barricade pushed up against you. That's at worst. Like, stop it. All right. So that led us to a main event that definitely has people in their feelings. 100% in their feelings. They are not liking Travis Scott being a part of it. I want to get to this. I love it. I loved John Cena's intro. I love how as we got closer and closer to WrestleMania, he stripped down his intro more and more. And at WrestleMania, it was just a black screen that said
No
John
video
Cena. And he
Yeah.
walked down to the ring. No music, no nothing. That was brilliant. I love it. Gone, John. Gone. What was y'all thoughts?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance where you see it and you automatically understand the symbolism,
Yeah,
and yeah, this takes up to the next level.
he cranked it up. Cranked it up. And Cody's entrance was epic as it has been at the past 3-4 WrestleManias.
Yep.
Go on, Cody. And they gave us a good wrestling match. For those of you who want more of a Chris Benoit versus Dean Malenko type match, it wasn't that. It wasn't Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it was a decent match. As usual, wrestling fans allowed the last 5 minutes of the match to ruin the rest of the match for them, same as they did with the WrestleMania main event last year with all the people popping up in The Undertaker and The Rock and everybody showing up and interfering and all of that. This year, we only had Travis Scott. Why Travis Scott?
I
We asked that
I'm
question a
so
long time
over-
ago.
Yeah, I'm so over Travis Scott. I'm just thankful that we're not going to have to listen to Fiend every single commercial break.
But Travis Scott saunters his little black ass down to the ring. As Cena's outside of the ring, gets in Cody's face, goes to hit Cody again, only this time Cody's like, nah. Gets him in kind of a half-hearted crossroads and drops him. Well,
Now that was funny.
that was fun to watch.
That was fun. That was actually fun to watch.
And people, here's the thing about it, and this is why I kind of rolled my eyes at the Travis Scott had no business being there. Travis Scott had no business being at Elimination Chamber. We established that on the show. We talked about it. That was one of the subjects we agreed upon. Here, I feel he belonged. I told people that smack that I heard when he hit Cody Rhodes at Elimination Chamber was going to come back to haunt his ass. And I think that's why he was asked to come back. No, I think that's the symbolism of him coming back, was that it was supposed to be closing out the thought process about him delivering that smack to Cody, and now Cody getting his lick back by hitting him with the crossroads. Now, what was hilarious about it was it distracted Cody and allowed Cena to get the belt because the ref was knocked out. Travis Scott evidently knocked out the ref by pulling him out the ring.
Yeah.
And gave the ref amnesia. And John Cena grabs the belt, gets in the ring, and goes to hit Cody with it. Cody turns around, as the babyface does, stops him, grabs the belt, flips it around, and goes to hit Cena with it. Cena begs him, please don't. Please don't. Think about it. You're the good guy. You don't want to do that. Cody thinks about it for a minute, struggles with the voices in his head, throws the championship on the ground, and that's when John Cena kicks him in the nuts. Like, it was an epic way to show that, like, sometimes, like, Cena's comment to him right around that earlier that in their promo segments was that there will come a time in which you're going to be asked to do, or you're going to need to do something dirty to win. And that was his time, and he chose to pass on it. And it allowed Cena to get the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And your 17-time world champion, John motherfucking Cena. If Seth can be freaking Rollins, this is John motherfucking Cena. There you go. He told us.
Yep.
He told us. What I'll say. So, like I said, people had mixed feelings about the main event. It was quite interesting to read the online reaction to the main event. It should have been The Rock. Why? The Rock hasn't been around since Elimination Chamber. You know how random it would have been had The Rock just randomly walked out and interfered in the main event of WrestleMania? You know how fucking random that shit would have been? There was no reason for him to be there. At least with the Travis Scott, you have the smack at Elimination Chamber to explain why he's there and ends up taking a crossroads. What reason would The Rock have to be there? None. Anyway, go on. And I don't even get me started on the reaction to Jey Uso winning the title at WrestleMania. Y'all kiss my ass. Jey deserved that shit. Yeet. Anyway. So that brings us to Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
A Raw that had a lot of surprises for us.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, we're not. We skipped over the. Saturday night was the Punk Rollins Reigns triple threat.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
We were just covering night 2
sorry.
today. It's all
Yeah,
good.
I know. I'm trying to.
And this year's Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania did not disappoint. Did not disappoint at all. And I actually want to point out, for those people who said it was a dead crowd, I think I said this last week. I think we need to stop saying that about WrestleMania now that it's a stadium show. Because it's a lot harder to visually get the same feeling out of a stadium that you do out of an arena. When 17,000 people are basically piled on or sitting on top of each other, it's a completely different feeling than the spread out feeling of a stadium. Because Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, the crowd seemed live.
Yeah.
The crowd seemed real live, but you're talking about, like I said, 17,000 in an arena compared to 60,000 in a stadium. So yeah. Monday Night Raw was off the hook in every possible way. Cena opened with his whatchamacallit, gave a fantastic heel promo.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
up?
it was fantastic.
Fantastic heel promo, and ended it with saying, snap a picture because this is the last time you're going to see a real champion.
And he comes out and says that he's working down the countdown on his for his contract. He's got that up on the, and it's like what 36 now.
No, he said he's got
24.
like 24 appearances
24.
left.
Yeah, 24. Not 24 matches, 24 appearances.
Yep.
So Cena's plan is to just do 24 promos, come out and do 24 promos.
No, I think he'll have his matches. I think he'll have his matches in there, but I think he made it a point to remind them, like, I got 24 appearances left, y'all. Like, this ain't going to be a match every time. Like, yeah, I'm going to have matches because I'm going to defend the title. But a good, like, 10 of those are going to be just me sitting here talking in the ring with the title. Like,
Yeah, I didn't hear him say he's going to defend the title.
Oh, well, he's going to. He's already set up for a match against Randy Orton at Backlash.
That's true.
He doesn't have a choice in whether or not he defends the title.
But is that a title match?
Yeah. It's for the WWE.
Okay.
Which, by the way, they have now dropped the Universal as of after WrestleMania. It's no longer the undisputed Universal WWE Championship. It is now just the undisputed WWE Championship because they officially retired the Universal Championship as of WrestleMania.
Good luck.
So, hey, that title had a great run. from the open with the whole storyline with Triple H like rigging the game so Kevin Owens could be the could win his first Universal Championship, to Finn Balor winning the championship and breaking his fucking neck and having to be out for 6 months. Like that, I love the Universal Championship. It was great. It was an ugly title. I wouldn't mind having one though, the red and the blue one. Those things I like them. But anyway, so yeah. So but they've retired it, so it's now just the WWE Undisputed Champion, which that's what John Cena is now, 17-time world champion. But yeah, him and Randy Orton are definitely going. They actually did a promo on SmackDown as well. They did the they did the whatchamacallit on whatchamacallit. They did the not back and forth. They did the RKO spot on Monday Night Raw, and then they also did an actual in-ring promo on SmackDown. That was actually pretty good. But John Cena was kind of Anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about the end of that Cena promo, where
Randy RKO's him,
and Randy comes out and RKO's him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was
that was going to happen.
Well, it was just amazing. It was just amazing to watch because you saw the crowd light up as Randy slid into the ring, and you saw him get ready for that RKO, and just And okay, I have to say this: if we were to give out year-end awards at the end of this year, as of right now, it is a tie between John Cena and Roman Reigns for best sellers of the year. The way Roman Reigns sold that GTS on that Friday Night SmackDown before WrestleMania, and then the way Cena sold the Crossroads that he took, and then this RKO, where he bounces down, bounces over, and then just does not move, like for like a good 5 minutes. I'm like, Randy. I'm like John. It looked like Randy didn't even know what to do with it. Like Randy walks over and looks at John, like sitting on the ground waiting for him to like move or get back up so he can like punt himself, and John's just not moving. And then Randy's like, "Fuck it," and goes back and celebrates with the crowd and leaves. And I was just like, John Cena, you've become a master seller. Thank you for bringing that back, sir.
You know what? There was something I wanted to speak on real quick, because those idiots over there on that other brand that we don't really talk about. So why is it now that they're trying to run some bullshit and trying to give Ric Flair a title?
That's an internet rumor. That's an internet rumor that people are saying that's what they should do in order to mock WWE.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And that was something I just wanted to, to speak on that. Like, that's not going to happen, folks. No matter how much y'all hate WWE and AEW, or you guys do this or do that, like,
no, trust me, it's not going to happen for two reasons.
Oh, no,
they wouldn't. Not even AEW would. It's hilarious. I agree with you there. But yeah, not even AEW would diminish their title that much by just throwing it on Ric Flair for no reason, just to try to say, oh, now Flair's had 18 World Heavyweight Championships. It's like, look, guys, no matter what you do, even if Flair went out and won 5 more titles, the record within WWE would still be John Cena with 17. Period. Doesn't matter. And WWE is its own universe outside of the wrestling world. Period. So, and AEW actually did troll WWE in the process after Cena won it by listing Ric Flair as a 21-time World Heavyweight Champion, which he is. But I believe there's 4 of his reigns that are not recognized by WWE for some reason. But yeah, so speaking of that, we did have a World Heavyweight Championship celebration as Jey Uso came out and celebrated with Sami Zayn and with
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso.
Yeah,
I was go ahead.
I was watching Sammy celebrating with Jimmy, and there were moments where Jimmy was turning around and they're focusing on Sammy, and I'm like, we're gonna have another betrayal?
Probably. We're probably looking at a Sammy betrayal at some point down the road. That's just what Sammy do, and Jay's the current World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. So, but this celebration didn't happen, and I was actually kind of glad, like, that they weren't going to ruin like his first night as world heavyweight champ. We can get to who is contending. But here's the
Yeah,
funny
but it's
thing.
coming. It's coming though.
Here's the funny
It's
thing that
definitely
happened.
coming.
Here's the funny thing that did happen. Gunther did come out.
Oh,
And
yeah,
cussed
this-
out Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and started throwing a fucking 2-year-old tantrum. And then
And
proceeded to beat the shit out of, try to choke out Michael Cole before Pat McAfee, or he pushed Pat McAfee, tried to choke out Michael Cole. When Pat McAfee came to defend Michael Cole, he choked out Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's the angle there.
Or I think it's leading to one or two things. It's definitely probably because Gunther needed some time off after dropping the World Heavyweight title. But I think it's either leading to McAfee and Gunther, which could happen. McAfee's had multiple matches in WWE, including multiple WrestleMania matches. Or it was just a reason to write Gunther off TV for a little bit, and they'll figure out what to do with him when he comes back. And I believe that Gunther will get... Here's the thing about it. Gunther's still technically owed a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Every champion has a clause in their contract when they defend the title that if they lose it, they get a rematch. So I think at some point, Gunther will come back. But I don't think since the WWE Championship is being defended at Backlash, I don't think the World Heavyweight Championship will be. I think if you look at what they were doing pre-WrestleMania, like both the titles were very rarely ever defended on the same pay-per-view, on the same PLE. Yeah. So I think what we're going to see is they're going to take a few weeks to build to Jay's first
Title
challenger.
defense.
Yeah,
Right.
for his first challenger. Or it's going to be Gunther. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be Gunther coming back and demanding a title match. And then at the pay-per-view after Backlash, we'll get Gunther versus J2. I want to say, that was definitely an amazing spot there. We also saw WWE women's freshly new WWE women's tag team champions,
Lyra Valkyria
Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, dropped the titles back to the original champs,
to Liv
Raquel
and-
Rodriguez
Raquel,
and Liv
yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah, and then because it was based off of a momentary distraction on the part of Lyra that Liv and Raquel took advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And after the match, Becky just goes off on Lyra.
Oh yeah,
And-
beats the living snot out of her.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh, and one thing that we did miss out on Raw that I believe it opened the show. I don't think they mentioned it, or did it? No, okay, this is later in the show. My bad. So yeah, so yeah, and Lynch beat the living snot out of her. I think it's going to lead to an Intercontinental Championship feud between those two. But we'll see where that goes. But it was an interesting thing to have them drop the titles the next night
yeah.
and not have any type of slow build to that.
And she's a heel again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also
I
makes
was-
me wonder if Bayley was supposed to turn on Lyra Valkyria.
I mean, they were definitely working up with that. in
I
some
don't
ways.
know. Like we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll never know because the match never went that way. So we don't know if this is the way they meant for it to go the whole time. We also saw. Yes, he's back. The new World Tag Team Champions, New Day, came out and celebrated the fact they were tag champions, and they were confronted by Alpha Academy. Akira
Yep.
Tozawa, Otis, and what's her name?
Maxine Dupree?
Maxine talks some shit to New Day, convinces New Day to get in the ring and have a match with Akira Tozawa and Otis, and then it happens. Out comes the man,
Rusev.
yes, the man who has broken many of WWE superstar, the man who is God's chosen warrior in AEW. Rusev came out, and the New Day, being the smart veteran guys that they were, got the hell out the ring and left Otis and Akira Tozawa to take the beat down from Rusev, former Miro.
Yeah.
So it looks like he has everything back now. He got his wife back. Him and Lana got back together after the separation. Now he's back with WWE. Now all he needs is a championship, and I think that's coming soon.
And is she
Mhm.
gonna come back and do one of these? Thrust. Yeah.
From what I heard, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if she's interested. We'll see. Um, Next out is the segment that I was about to talk about, where EL Sky comes out and celebrates her championship and is showered with "you deserve it"
Yep.
and "we love you" or whatever they said. And she talks about wanting to fight the best, and at that moment she is then joined by possibly one of the best female wrestlers on this planet, in Stephanie Vaquer, current NXT women's wrestler or women's champion. She's
Yeah.
proficient in the luchador style. She's becoming more and more proficient by the day in the WWE style, and she's just an amazing wrestler. And they gave us a good 10-minute match that, wow, just wow. If this is what the WWE future holds, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here for it. Gentlemen, your thoughts on two of the best women in the world going at it?
As far as I'm concerned with that one, that was something great to watch. I was actually entertained by, by the exchange, the performances, the fanfare each time they were doing something amazing. Like, it was worth it. It was definitely worth the watch.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it, man, for, if it happens again.
I'm all for it. I think it will somewhere down the line. I think at some point, I think that was WWE and Triple H testing the waters to see if the interest in there is there, and it was there. All right. So after that, we closed with the main event, final match of the night. Intercontinental Champion Dom Mysterio retains his title over Penta with the help from a returning Judgment Day member, the Iron Man himself, or the man with the iron lung. I don't know what you want to call him. JD McDonough.
Yep.
Saint, you're muted.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
JD Madonna, like, where the fuck was you at?
So the judgment Day is whole again.
I almost forgot about it. I clearly almost forgot about him.
Yeah. Oh, let's also not forget about Braun's little surprise
we're getting
announcement.
to that. We're getting to that. So yeah, I thought the match with Penta went well. Dom put on again. Dom getting better. Dom's another one. Initially, I didn't like him. Starting to love him more by the day. Not like him like he's a baby face like him, but starting to respect him more by the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we closed with what was supposed to be an explanation as to why Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman teamed up together.
Yep.
Seth cut a very, very dry, I would say dry in the sense of like not a lot of energy to it promo. And was beginning to talk shit when he's interrupted by CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He then proceeds to fight with CM Punk for a minute and put down CM Punk. Goes to talk again, and he's interrupted by the OTC, Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
As he's getting overwhelmed by the OTC, and OTC gives a 1-2 Superman punch to Paul Heyman. Roman celebrating the ring, goes to hit Seth with another spear, and is speared through the floor by Braun Breaker.
In civvies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, nobody else understands what's going on. It looked like even Seth Rollins was a little bit confused as he stood there and watched him decimate Roman Reigns, and then stood like, are you about to attack me? And Braun starts running kind of at him, but then runs right past him and spears CM Punk.
Yeah.
Only for Paul Heyman to start smiling. Now we all knew backstage that for a few years now, Braun Breaker has been a Paul Heyman guy. Like there's a promo that Paul cut like a couple of years ago where he talks about how Roman Reigns allowed him to mentor Braun Breaker. Well, now we see what that's leading to.
Yep.
As a stable looks like it's being born.
Yep. I've seen some interesting predictions about it. Because we've already got Rollins and Breaker. Um, I think it could be possible for Rhea Ripley to join.
I don't know if they're going to add a female, but I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think if you're going to look at it, understand that this will be led by Seth Rollins, but this is a Paul Heyman group.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about who's going to be added, you definitely got to look at like who are applicable Paul Heyman guys or gals. You know, and I would definitely think Rhea Ripley fits that mold. I could see Damian Priest fitting that mold if he wanted to go back to being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre could be in that role.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that there's going to be a split in the Judgment Day because you've got Dom, you got Liv, and you got Raquel all holding gold, and Finn continues to fail. I think there's going to be a coup where Finn gets kicked out of the Judgment Day, Dom takes over, and then Finn can go to Paul Heyman's new stable.
What's up, Po Politicking? What's good? Thanks for tapping in.
Hey.
Go on.
I agree to disagree because we know that
And
there's got to be a baby face in it, and I think that Dom is probably going to separate from Judgment Day. I would think so because it's the same thing with Damian Priest.
I think it's going to be Finn and JD that are going to lead the Judgment Day. I think that's what they're building to. I think they've been building to that for a while. I think it would have happened already if not for JD's injury. I think that they've been building to that. I think because Dom's going to be the new leader of the Judgment Day.
right,
Like, I
and
think
that's what I'm getting at is that Dom is going to stage a palace coup with Liv and Raquel, and basically kick Finn out. And then
And here's where I disagree with you. I don't think it's going to be them kicking Finn out. I think it's going to be Finn deciding to leave, because I think Finn's going to go hard after Dom, and Liv and everybody else are going to kind of be like, whoa, 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 and Finn's going to be like, fuck it, I'm out of here, and JD's going to be like, well, I'm with Finn, and he's going to bounce. I can see that,
yeah.
Like I don't necessarily think it's going to be them kicking Finn out. I think it's just going to be Finn deciding to leave the Judgment Day and strike out on his own, because he's seeing the tea leaves that they're moving towards Dom more as the leader. You know, with Carlito and whatchamacallit. And I think JD is the only one that would have his back in that scenario, Finn's back. And so I think it's Finn walking as opposed to Finn being kicked out. But I definitely am with Saint in the fact that I think Dom is going to be taking over Judgment Day. I think it's going to become his faction. Only because as much as Dom is getting cheered right now, I like Dom better. And Dom does a lot better as a heel than he does as a baby face. And I think it would be kind of trying to force him down people's throats to try to pitch him as a baby face at this point. But all right, so let's get to Smackity Did It Down, where we got another, like I said, John Cena, Randy Orton promo. And it was great. They went through, they talked shit to each other left and right. Cena said some things I didn't expect him to say. But it all turned out awesome. Then you had Jade Cargill take on Tiffany Stratton. A match that I actually wouldn't mind seeing on a future card coming up here. Maybe Survivor Series, maybe SummerSlam. I think Jade's really starting to do a lot better learning the WWE style. And I think her and Stratton would make for a hell of a match. What do you guys think?
Well,
we know this match didn't happen because this match was interrupted by Naomi attacking Jade Cargill and then Nia Jax making Tiffany Stratton into a pancake. But I'm saying down the road, would you guys mind? Would you guys want to see Jade Cargill take on Tiffany Stratton for the women's champ? For the women's champ?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can see it. I mean, I could definitely see it. But will we get through a match because it's too much of caution. Like
proceed with caution.
I'm not digging this yellow tape. It's too much of a fucking crime scene, dude. Like,
I'll say, but
with like
it only because it makes no sense. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere.
That's the key point. That's
like,
the key
just
point.
Really
it makes
sense.
No sense. The math ain't.
The look isn't bad. The look isn't bad. I like it for Naomi, but the proceed with caution tagline just isn't hitting right. And maybe there will be a moment down the road where it does, but now it's not it. Then came what was one of my best moments of Friday night with SmackDown, which is Solo Sikoa accompanies Jacob Fatu out to the ring to discuss him winning the United States title. And of course, Solo attempts to take all credit for Jacob Fatu winning because he's the one who brought Jacob Fatu to WWE. So he's the reason why Fatu won the title. Fatu proceeds to tell him, yeah, player, we ain't going down that road, nah me? Nah me? Like, nah, player. Nah. He told him before, he's like, I told you before WrestleMania, I'm going to do it with or without you. And I did it without you. So as they finish up their thing, they're joined by LA Knight, who asked for a title match, only to be interrupted by Drew McIntyre, claiming Randy Orton left ahead of him for the Universal title or for the WWE Undisputed title. So they argue, they have some quips back and forth. Nick Aldis comes out and makes your main event for the evening, which is McIntyre versus LA Knight for the number one contendership of for the U.S. title. It was a good match. I like the segment and the later on it was a great match. The ending of the match is what I really liked, which was Solo Sikoa attacking LA Knight. What was it? Jacob Fatu attacking everybody and laying everybody out. So now I believe it is a fatal four-way at Backlash for the U.S. title between Fatu, Drew McIntyre. I don't know if it's true or not, but Fatu, I saw a thing for Fatu, McIntyre, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa for the U.S. Championship. What would y'all think about that match?
Well, Fatu. Yeah, Fatu is just it's pretty much destroying everything right now. So I'm thinking like all the cards are on the table. He's just gonna clear the decks. So yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. Oh,
hold up.
The Samoan werewolf, like.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Tune into the classroom tonight because we're gonna have some shit to say. The Lakers just lost and are down 3-1 to the Timberwolves.
Ooh.
Oh, Shannon, I love you, but there ain't gonna be no Lakers in 5. Sorry, bro. OKC, KFC, Lakers in 5. Nope, ain't gonna be that. Anyway.
Yep. Meanwhile, Warriors are up 2-1.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna say without saying. So anyway, so that's gonna take us off of the WrestleMania tip, wrestling tip. We'll talk more Raw and SmackDown next week. They're building the Backlash, which should be an amazing pay-per-view. So other than that, guys, let's jump on over to their favorite segment and what they all wait for. There we
So,
go. Okay. So, what do you got for us, guys?
Okay, Dave.
okay, so remember a couple weeks back when Assassin's Creed Shadow came out and had about 1 million, 2 million players
Mm,
in the first 24 hours. Well, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered
mm.
has logged in its in less than 5 days over 4 million players.
Wow.
Yep,
Wow.
That's a lot.
yep,
That is a lot.
for the remaster. And also apparently in Oblivion Remastered, if you go to the northernmost border of
Mm.
the Cyrodiil province and look to the north, you can see Skyrim now. You can see the throat of the world standing up.
What? Dang.
That's how. Yep.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
And you know, we still don't know much about Elder Scrolls 6, but hey, Elder Scrolls is always good. Although I would love to see them go back to the original um, spellcrafting system from Arena, where
Okay.
you used to be able to create your own custom spells in Mage Guild
Okay.
for Elder Scrolls. Of course, things got out of hand
Yeah.
in there as people learned how to min-max spells in there pretty quickly. And so that's never been a feature since Oblivion.
Okay.
And that's kind of like, damn it, I want to be able to do customized spells. And I understand why Bethesda took it out,
Uh,
because people were munchkinning it.
what's that?
But munchkin,
What's
um,
munchkining?
it's basically min-maxing. It's taking advantage of loopholes in the rules in ways that they were never intended for to get way overpowered.
Okay. To sort of OP your character. Got
Yeah,
it.
it's what. But given the fact that for Skyrim, you can now download a mod pack that literally turns you into Superman in Skyrim. Flight, super strength, invulnerability, heat vision, frost breath. I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
The idea
OP.
um, of OPing your character. Yeah. So
Uh,
just bring it back.
yeah.
Because the people that are going to want to munchkin their Bethesda game experience, they're going to do that anyway, no matter
Right.
what.
They're gonna figure out a way to do
Let us have fun with the universe like that used to
it.
be.
Shit.
Medieval Superman.
Dude, I'm serious. You literally you start out the game with all the Kryptonian abilities, whether you're a male or female character. It's even a new racial option when you're creating your character. It's called the Kryptonian.
Dang. All right. Let's see. What else you got for us, fellas? Anybody got anything?
Pretty much the only thing that I have on the docket, and I've just recently picked that up, and that is the 20th anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm getting ready to get into this in the next few days or so, but it's pretty much the same exact game. I just want to kind of bring it to the forefront because, well, to me, that is probably one of the best games ever
Mm,
because of how many genres of gaming it represent. You had stealth, you had combat, you had racing, you had like, in an RPG type of element, and it's really good. And I'm surprised that Ubisoft was going to eventually bring it to the forefront. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to playing it once again. So I might be streaming that at some point. But
okay.
Beyond Good and Evil, it's a Ubisoft game. I think I might have bought every single iteration of it from since the game came out in 2005. So that was pretty much a just a journey, and
Okay.
it's actually, like I said, one of my favorite games to play.
There you go.
So yeah,
I would check it out.
yeah.
Dave, you got anything for us? I got one for us.
Um, I've got a non-video gaming story,
Okay.
but we can get into that a little later.
Okay, go ahead and get into it now, because once we wrap
Okay,
up video games, we're gonna wrap it up. So what's up?
right. So, uh, non-video gaming news. Um, the tabletop gaming industry, both role-playing games and board games, are already starting to feel the effects of the Terra 4.
Okay.
Um, gaming studio Greater Than Games, who created the Sentinels of the Multiverse cooperative game and then launched it into a superhero role playing game and even a limited comic book line,
Okay.
is shutting down over tariffs.
Wow. Can't afford to produce it, huh?
They cannot afford to produce. And the problem is that a lot of the board game industry is feeling the heat because they have most of their products, of the stuff that they put into the box or the whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is made in China.
In China,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
stuff's either printed, the hard the physical copy books tend to also be printed in China because of
it's cheaper to do out there.
it's cheaper to do it out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is printing capability in the United States, but they're mostly for um, paperback and magazine, and as we all know, niche industry printing, like role playing games, like comic books, you can't do that on a feasible budget within the bounds of the United States. Not to mention the fact that there's so many things from dices to playing pieces to the playing surfaces that are not. There is no production setup for that in the United States.
Yeah. Well,
So, yeah,
it's gonna be felt all around, and it sucks, but this is where we're at. So,
it is
all
where
right,
we're at. Yeah.
all right. On a more positive note, well, semi positive note, we'll jump over to here. Have either of you ever heard of a company called Pay More?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are a retail technology store, and they are looking to replace GameStop store by store. So it's been said that the tech retail chain is buying old GameStop locations as the once popular gaming outlet closes them. The last few years have been rough for GameStop, which has been shutting down stores. They said shut down around 700 of them since 2020. But these guys are buying them one by one, and it's kind of similar to GameStop. It's not it's except you don't return games. They take all tech. So I would assume that includes gaming systems if they accept all
Mhm.
tech. but and you can trade it in kind of like the game. I just hope they don't give as bad a whatchamacallit, get about a feedback as GameStop did.
Yeah.
Like okay, I always tell this story about GameStop. I love GameStop. I use GameStop a lot. I'm sad that they're going out of business. Like it was my place to go. One time, this was in the late 90s, I took to GameStop a Sega Genesis, a Sega CD, two controllers, and I think it was about 14 games. And I barely got enough that I only had to pay $10 for the $49.99 MLB Triple Play. I think it was like 98 on the PlayStation, or 99 or something like that on the PlayStation. 40, like they gave me $42 in store credit. That was store credit. And store credit was supposed to be like twice what they would give you in cash. And for all of that, a whole system, a whole side system, and like 10, 15 games, they gave me 40 something dollars. And I think the bulk of it was the system and the side system. They didn't give me shit for the
Well,
games.
well, too, you got to think too, though. The generation, I mean, the next generation was already getting ready to like start sparking through, because the minute, because you said MLB, right? Is that
Yeah,
like 98 for what, like the
it's triple
PlayStation?
play. Triple play. Yeah,
Oh,
triple play
triple play.
baseball. Triple
Oh
play
yeah,
baseball
by that time,
for the PlayStation, yeah.
yeah, by that time the value was already going to go down.
But that's what I'm saying, though. There's a difference between the value of a game going down to me and the value of a system. As long as the system is taken care of, the value of the system should never be lost. Like to me, as long as the system is taken care of. Now I'm not saying if I paid $200 for this system, which was the standard price back in the day, $200 for this system, I should get $200. But if I pay $200 for all this equipment, I should at least be able to get 50 to 100 for just the two systems, and then give me another 5, 10 for the games. At least give me they were well taken care of. I didn't bust up my machines. They worked. They were perfectly good. And here's the part that burns my noodle about it, is they will turn around and sell that same Sega Genesis and Sega CD to some other chap for like 50, 60, $70 for like
Because
double,
they're gonna
triple
turn around.
what they gave me for it in store
Because the
credit,
demand-
mind you,
Well,
like
the-
not
the-
even in cash.
Well, the demand is going to be high anyway. At that point in the game, especially now with older systems, because you got to think, like, I'm not quite sure exactly what's really been going on, but in terms of everybody just buying retro games, like
Well, now,
nothing's
yeah,
creative
now you
anymore.
can
You
now
know
they
what I
can sell
mean?
them for tons of money. But I'm talking about back then. The Sega Genesis was barely 5, 10 years old when I was trying to get in. It wasn't that, like, a lot of households still were playing on the Genesis and weren't playing on the PlayStation at that time. But it's again, I don't mind the fact that they're reselling it 70, $80 if somebody's willing to pay that for it for a used system. It's a matter of give me at least 50. It's give me at least 50. Don't give me $40 in store credit. So literally you're losing nothing, because now I turn around and spend that $40 at your store. So you're losing nothing on giving me $40, and you could at least give me 50, 60 in store credit. I'm going to spend it right back at your store. So, but anyway, like I said, I get what you're saying about like, yes, GameStop had a racket that went out of business in 2020. When people couldn't leave their houses to come give GameStop a bunch of stuff that they could turn around, that they could buy for $1.50, like last year's copy of Madden, and turn around and sell it for $22. Yeah, like when people stopped being able to do that and started people were forced to kind of go digital, GameStop died out, and that's where we're at right now. Is you can barely find them, or you're not necessarily finding as many of them as you used to, like with McDonald's. You're not finding one on every block. There's not a GameStop at every mall anymore. There's not spin-offs of GameStop called Electronics Boutique. For those of you who lived in the Bay Area and may remember that.
EV Games.
Yep. One of the guys that I lived with back in '05 worked there. My boy Bobby worked there. Uh,
Hey,
I was
AJ
like,
Software.
yeah.
yeah,
Hemp Hill worked there too.
yep,
That's where I met. That's where I met Mr. Hemp Hill.
yeah,
And when I was working at Lasergate across the street
Yep.
from Hayward, that's where
from
Yep.
Southside Mall.
yeah, oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And
Oh man.
uh, let's also not forget the greatness that is Fry's Electronics.
Yes. Yes, unfortunately that Amazon is
Yeah.
more of what killed Fry's Electronics than anything
Yeah, I
else.
know. But
But I wish
they,
I want to go build a computer, so I wish there was a Fry's Electronics I could go to right now.
yep.
Like I
Um,
genuinely wish.
I yeah, but the Temple of Doom in was it
San
is it
Jose,
no what no it wasn't it was one of the in Mountain View. It was
Mountain
the
View.
Fry's Electronics that was done like the Mesoamerican temple.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. From the store exterior to the interior, it was like a Mesoamerican temple that you're walking into with
Electronics, all kinds of
consumer
electronics in there.
electronics. Yep.
And there was also a good one in Fremont too that me and my pops used to go to. Uh, like yeah, for those of you who don't remember Fry's Electronics, it was the place to go to. Like I'd say about '95 through like 2010 or so. Fry's Electronics was the place to go for your electronic needs.
Yeah.
But here's one thing. Here's a fun fact about whatchamacallit, that I don't know if you guys know. Fry's Electronics actually started out as a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was Fry's grocery store before it became Fry's Electronics. Uh, when I found that out, that blew my mind. I was like, wow, wow. So they started out with nothing but grocery, huh? I guess we just lost the saint. uh, all right, y'all. So that will take us into our final segment of the day.
The final segment. Oh Jesus Christ, dude.
Where can we find you next? Or you go ba-da-doo-doo, ba-da-doo-doo-doo. It's
Okay,
the
you're doing extra
final
now.
countdown. Oh, I gotta do extra. I can't do just enough. It's gotta be extra. All right, Dave, kick us off. Where can we find you next, brother?
Tonight I will be back on the night shift with Spider-Man. Yep, keeping the city safe as it's time to start taking names with all the criminals that escaped from the raft.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Saint, you?
All right. I will be doing a somewhat of a light stream tonight, interactive gaming and so forth, just to to close the weekend out. But come Tuesday on Now versus Then, I will be having a guest. The artist name is Gentry Cozier. I've had him on the show before back when I was doing my thing back in California, but we're gonna be sitting on a round table talking a whole bunch of shit and all the goodness that comes with the music industry because we like talking about shit like that. So
We like talking about shit, huh?
yeah, we do. We do.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. As for me, you can find me in about 2 hours right here, same bad time, same bad channel on YouTube, First GenXers, YouTube, Double KK Double Network, and the Twitch channel for the Classroom featuring O'Malley. And like I told y'all gonna want to tune in. Them Lakers down 3-1. You know me and O'Malley gonna have some shit to say about that. And the
Jesus,
Warriors
I
up
already
2-1.
know. I already listen. I listen.
And she
O'Malley
just confirmed
just
that we're good to go for tonight. Go ahead.
yeah,
Say-
just I just want to go ahead and just say to O'Malley because I've known O'Malley now a decade, and yeah, she's still one of the, and I mean no exception to anybody else on our crew or what have you, but when it comes to the sports and all that other shit, like she's an authority for it,
Oh yeah,
and
she knows her shit.
but she definitely will tell you to the end of the time she will never like or have any love for LeBron,
Oh yeah.
like a lot of us. And yeah, she already know. I'll be looking forward to her talking shit. So
Uh,
I'm there for it. Let's go.
all right, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch TV. That will do it for us, guys. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us again. Thanks for being here with me to provide this entertainment for people. For all the people that joined us on either one of the YouTube channels or on Twitch, we thank you, we love you, we appreciate it. Be sure to tap in with us next week, same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be talking a little Raw and SmackDown. Hopefully by this point, Dave will have watched Andor. No, we'll get some Andor talk in,
That's
and
fucked up, bro.
we'll have some fun shit to do as we do every week right here on the Cheap Pop Podcast.
Yep.
Till later, y'all. We out. Peace. Are you raiding us out, Saint? No.
Nah, we're good.
All right.